I had Super 8. My dad had a Super 8 camera, but I couldn't afford it. I shot 2 rolls that you had to buy the film, shoot 2 minutes. I shot 2 rolls of that. It's another same amount of money that it cost to buy it, whatever that was, $12 or whatever, to develop it. You get it. There's no sound. Most of the shit's out of focus, but then my dad, who sold cookware, had a VCR, one of the first VCRs, home VCRs for the market, that he would play his sales tapes to his salesman. And it came with a camera attached, like this cable you got coming out. Imagine if that had to go into your VCR for you to even see what it's shooting. And it's this old camera, manual focus, manual iris, and 12-foot cable. And I would start making movies with that instead. Now I have, for $8, I have a 2-hour erasable tape of sound and picture. So I got into digital basically really early. I was doing, which was really frowned upon back then. And continued to be all the way to when I was using it for real in the early 2000s, before everyone realized, oh, that's the future.
Yeah, that's fascinating, because you were a rebel in that way too, using digital.
Yeah, well, because of the means and the democratizing of that. The elite didn't like that. You could just go make a movie like that. But I started practicing, and it's much easier to practice when it doesn't cost any money. Like if you want to be a rock star, right? If you want to learn how to play guitar really well, you're not going to just jump on stage and suddenly be able to play. You have to practice till your fingers bleed. Well, the same with movies. You got to keep telling stories and cutting them together. And you just can't afford that on film. Nobody can, with a 2-minute roll costing as much as a 2-hour tape. So I was doing all these movies. First, I would cut in camera. And that old VCR had a really great pause button that they stopped making, that when you hit pause, it stopped right there. And it stopped with a clean cut. It didn't have all this color bars like the later ones had. So and it had an audio dub feature where you could add another second soundtrack to it. So if I have people talking, I could hit audio dub and add sound effects. So I could have 2 tracks on the same one. So that was my filmmaking kit for a while, until I needed to start doing real editing. And my dad bought a second VCR for his business because I stole his other one. And I found that if I hooked them together, I could play on one and use that pause button on the second. And this was the limitation. This is what taught me how to edit in my head, is that if I shot a bunch of footage, I needed to shoot very little footage so I could find it. Sometimes you shoot out of order. So when I cut it, I have to cut in linear order, because if you push pause, it's a nice clean cut, but it only holds for 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes before the machine shuts off. So you got to find your next shot within 5 minutes and do that. Otherwise, if you have to start the machine over, it would add all these color bars and it would be all screwed up. So I'd have to sit there and not move for like all day while I cut, knowing what the next shot was. And once I had it cut, I would then add some sound effects to it. Remember, because I have the audio dub function. But now if I want to add music, I take that tape, which has 2 tracks now, into the first deck and put it into the VCR again, one generation of loss. But I have a little cassette tape player with the music, and I do a Y splitter so I can add the music.
Nice.
And right? Just like that. That's
Brilliant.
like being resourceful with what you have. And I made award-winning short films that way on video. There were some festivals that would allow video, not many, but they would always win.